Hey, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. We've got the remnants of Fred heading our way, which potentially could bring us not only flooding, but potentially some severe weather in the form of tornadic storms. So let me show you the overall view here. I'll kind of get out of the way here. You could see the tornado watch, which is in effect for parts of northeast Georgia. And we had several tornado warnings overnight and early this morning with the circulation. Now, the next watch is about to come out, and I would suspect we're going to see some kind of watch issued in this area here over the next couple of hours, probably through the middle of the day. And what we're watching for is, even though these heavy rain bands down here, you could see them down here, and I'll loop this, these are moving off in this direction. That is going to allow for some heavy rain to move in, but also there's some breaks developing within those lines, and those breaks in the lines are going to cause basically the sun to come out briefly, or at least thinning of the clouds, and that's going to cause some instability, which is the fuel that these storms need to kind of develop and get stronger. So we're going to watch these areas right in here in the upstate. Even these bands need to be watched, but I'll tell you the highest chance of tornadic storms seems to be right with this main band just east of the center of Fred, which is no longer even a system. It's a tropical depression and should weaken to a remnant low. Let me quickly show you the severe weather outlook for today. We'll kind of turn it on. I'm going to turn the radar off here so you can kind of see it. Turn the satellite off here real quickly. Bear with me. So there's that risk right there. And you can see the area in yellow. That's primarily the area that we're concerned about for tornadoes. That's a 5% probability of seeing tornadoes. If I put the probability of tornadoes, it matches up perfectly with that. So that's the probability, 5% within 25 miles. And then you can see the area in yellow. That's a 2%. So you can kind of see the area, the mountains, foothills, back into the Piedmont. And that's going to line up really well with that area where we're seeing the track of the remnants of Fred. We also have the risk for flash flooding, obviously, today. So let me turn on the flash flood risk. You could see we've got that high risk, but there's a small area of extreme risk here right in the southwest corner of North Carolina, mainly because they had so much rain yesterday. Lake Toxaway saw a foot of rain, so any additional rain would cause widespread flooding. So you don't see that very often. That's an extreme risk for flash flooding. The red is the high risk, and the yellow-orange is a medium risk, and then you get into the green, and that's a low risk. So that's pretty significant setup there. I'll turn the radar back on, and we'll loop this a couple of times because you can kind of get an idea. The timing of this is going to basically be mid-afternoon into the evening hours, and again, tornado and flash flood risk. Now, I know it's not raining in many areas of the Piedmont, so areas in here, the showers are going to be much more scattered. So I'm not looking at a widespread flood threat, but isolated flood threat. But look at the mountains. You know, it doesn't look like much on radar, but it's been raining most of the day up there. So we've seen extremely heavy rain in those locations. So let's get right to the future cast here. So I am going to stick primarily with the short range guidance because it's going to handle small evolution of the system in the short term. So you can see we go into 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock this afternoon, we see this band developing right in here. This is a band that potentially could have tornadoes in it. At least quick spin ups. We go to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, see it moving north. And again, remember, even back here, some of these could be rotating. So this line right in here at 3 o'clock is right there. By 4 o'clock, 5, 6, even 6, 7. Look at this. We still got this band with possible rotation in it. So this could be a long afternoon and evening for tornado warnings. 8 p.m., we see this heavy rain band set up. And again, there could be rotation in that line. And then all the way until midnight tonight, it's going to be moving through. So this is going to be a long afternoon and evening for me as we move through. I'm going to show you real quickly what we call STP, or significant tornado parameter. And hopefully this is loading. But you could see going into the afternoon hours how it's not huge. I mean, the scale is kind of off behind my head here. I'll move this out of the way briefly. But you're down in this 1, 1.5, 2. And remember, for tropical systems, you usually don't have a ton of high STP values. It's just a little bit of spin with a little bit of lift that gets these things going. Let me quickly show you some of the tracks of possible rotation. So I'm going to switch maps here real quickly just to show you again. You see the area in pink. I turned this on in this product because this is where we have currently significant tornado parameter in pink. So that just kind of shows you real quickly. I'm going to turn everything off here, and we're going to get to some model data just to show you. Let me turn the model data on here real quickly. We're going to use all short range guidance here. and we're going to do rotation tracks. So this is where we're going to have what we call updraft helicity. So let's go through time. I'm going to stop this at 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can see that line. That's where we have rotation in the storms. That's 2 o'clock this afternoon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So notice most of these rotation tracks are with this line back in here. Right now, across the Piedmont, it looks a little bit more sparse, but it won't take much. And then we go into the overnight hours, and you can see that lifting out. So again, upstate South Carolina into the western part of North Carolina, that's definitely going to be the area we'll watch. So here's the loop again of the next 18 hours. You see that moving through, and that'll be what we'll be watching. So it's just going to wait, kind of a wait and see mode with this afternoon. I know that's not what you always want to hear in these situations, but I'll turn all the real-time information on here again real quick. And that's the current situation we have. So we're waiting to see, let me turn on if we have any mesoscale discussions. So you can see that pink area, I just turned that on, where we possibly could have a new tornado watch. So I would suspect we're going to see another tornado watch issued here coming up in probably the next hour or so. That's going to go through about lunchtime today. So just a heads up, that's going to be coming. And also, just on a side note, we did just have a 2.7 magnitude earthquake north of Morganton. So if you were shaken in the Unifor region this morning, it happened at 9:19. That's the earthquake that happened this morning. So I'll be posting updates throughout the day. I'm actually heading to work right now early. I should be there around midday. That'll get us prepared for any isolated tornadoes that develop. And also, remember, in the mountains and foothills, please be weather aware, be safe today. The threat for flash flooding is going to be sky high through tonight.